video is just gonna be a mess. So I'm embracing that this video is just going to be a huge mess. I sat here trying to figure out how to conduct this video, how to like make everything actually make sense. And it's not going to make sense. We just have to deal with it. So I wanted to do my TBR for the Latinx Book Bingo Readathon. And I did want to preface this video by saying that typically I am a co-host of this readathon, but this year my mental health has just been really, really bad. And I talked with my other co-hosts saying like I cannot do it this year. It's just not going to happen for me. And I was really disappointed both in myself and just like in this whole, you know, ordeal that we're living through. So it's just been really tough, and I'm not going to be able to be a co-host this year, which is really, really disappointing. But I still do want to make this TBR video. I still want to promote the readathon, and I still want to read Latinx books through September 15th to October 15th. So we are going to try to fit these books that I have quite a few, because I really wanted to kind of like give myself the option of reading almost any of the Latinx books that I have on my TBR, like my physical TBR. I wanted to give myself the option of reading any of these books just so like I don't feel too narrowed down into like 4 specific books or like 5 whatever I end up reading. So I have a whole stack here. We're gonna try to fit them into the different categories for the bingo. I'm gonna keep the graphic up on the screen, hopefully, you know, maybe somewhere like right here, somewhere, I don't really know. We'll figure it out in post. In post. I do have the bingo card right here. So the first book that we have on this TBR, hopefully, is Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And this book fits into, I think, a couple of squares. This book is set in / main character from Latin America. Any book by a Latinx author, never read before Latinx author, 2020 release, and I believe those are all the squares that this would fit into. So I am so excited about this book. I don't typically read thrillers, but I've seen so many good things about this book. I've heard so many people rave about it and say that it's awesome and that they loved it. So I'm really, really excited to read it, and I hope I like it. It seems like it's going to be the type of thriller that I might actually enjoy, so I have some high hopes for it. And it is set in Mexico, which is really exciting as well. I don't feel like I've ever really read any books set in Mexico. I might be wrong. Like I've said, I've heard some really good things. And basically, I think it's about this main character, and her cousin asks her to come and check on her in her new house with her husband. I don't really know. It's like, I hear people explain it to me and I'm still kind of confused, but I'm pretty sure that her dad just sends her to go check on her cousin, and that's a little weird, that's a little sketchy. So I don't know, I'm really excited to get into this, and I think it also has some like really weird gruesome horror, so I'm pumped. The next book on my TBR is Nocturna by Maya Montaigne, and I want to see which squares this one would fit into. This book would fit into any book by a Latinx author. It would fit into never before read Latinx author. But this is a fantasy, and I actually did start reading this book, I want to say last year, on audio, and I really liked it, but I couldn't pay attention to it as an audiobook, and I really wanted to read it. So I have the physical edition, and I'm really, really excited to get into it. Like, look at how gorgeous this book is. Holy moly. Maybe we can read a little bit from the actual synopsis so I don't sound completely dumb trying to give you guys my own synopsis. It says, to Finn Voy, magic is 2 things: a knife to hold under the chin of anyone who crosses her, and a disguise she shrugs into as easily as others pull on cloaks. As a talented face shifter, Finn hasn't seen her own face in years, and that's exactly how she likes it. But when she gets caught by a powerful mobster, she's forced into an impossible mission: steal a legendary treasure from Castellan's royal palace or be stripped of her magic forever. So this sounds really interesting. I don't remember how far I got into it when I read it as an audiobook. As you can tell, I've never really opened this book because it just makes that noise. But I don't really remember how far I got into this. I don't think I got very far. So I'm really, really excited to actually get to read this book. And I don't know, I've heard some really good things about this. The next book is one that I am so excited about. I am so pumped for this book, and I've been like eyeballing it ever since I bought it. I bought it recently, and and I'm just so excited. I bought it specifically for this readathon. And the book is Sabrina and Karina, and this is a collection of short stories about Latina women with indigenous ancestry. And I'm really, really excited about this one as well because I am also indigenous. I have Chumash and Costanoan ancestry as well, so I'm so excited for this. I have never read any books with Latinx people who are also indigenous, and so I'm just very excited to get into this short story collection. I've also never read a short story collection really, so it'll be intriguing to see how I get through all these stories. And it's very short and I've heard so many good things about it. Literally all the reviews on Goodreads have been very positive, so yes, I'm very excited. The next book is another fun one that I've been anticipating, and this is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge: A Crash of Fate by Zoraida Cordova. And this is a Star Wars book. I really wanted to include a Star Wars book on my TBR this year, and I'm so excited. I love Zoraida Cordova. I love Star Wars. I love Galaxy's Edge. If you know me, oh my gosh, I am dying to be back in Galaxy's Edge. Like, I just loved it when I went. I went back in November and I just fell in love. I wanted to stay there the entire day. I loved it. So getting to read a book that's like set in Galaxy's Edge, I'm ready. I think this one doesn't fit into very many squares. It would probably be good for any book by a Latinx author. It's technically a backlist title, kind of, not really. And I think that might be it, because I don't think it came out in 2020. I'm pretty sure it came out either last year or the year before, so it's definitely not a new release. But I am very excited about this because I love Zoraida and I love Star Wars, and I just needed to include it in this TBR. The next one is a book that I actually had on last year's TBR that I didn't end up getting to, and that is Don't Date Rosa Santos by Nina Moreno, and I am very excited about this book. Also, yellow, we're matching. I love it. So this is another book that I don't really know where to put it in the squares for the book bingo, but I'd probably put it in lighthearted story because it is a contemporary. Any book by a Latinx author, never before read Latinx author, on cover rep. And we could do Wrecked by a Latinx reader because Rocky from Blonde with a Book loves this book, so we're gonna say that it was recommended by her. And I believe that might be it. I'm not totally sure, but I'll let you guys know if there's any other boxes that this fits into. The next book is another one I actually match with, and that is Dealing in Dreams by Lilian Rivera. And we match. We have some yellow, and I also have like this kind of blue in my earring. Ooh, we're really matching. So this is another book that I don't really know which boxes that it fits into. We're gonna go with any book by a Latinx author. We're going to go with, I think this might be a backlist title, I'm not sure. I know this is pretty old. I think I got this a year or so ago, and I got it from Book Outlet, so it might have also just been really old anyway. Or not really old, but just like older. I don't know when this book came out. Also, never before read Latinx author, and I'm not sure if this is queer. I have no idea. So I am really excited about this one. It looks really pretty. I was reading the synopsis earlier before I started filming this video, and it says Nala leads the fiercest all-girl crew in Mega City. That role brings with it violent throwdowns and access to the hottest bodega clubs, but the 16-year-old grows weary of the life. Her dream is to get off the streets and make a home in the exclusive Mega Towers, in which only a chosen few get to live. To make it to the Mega Towers, Nala must prove her loyalty to the city's benevolent founder and cross the border in a search for the mysterious gang, the Ashe Riders. Led by a reluctant guide, Nala battles other crews and her own doubts, but the closer she gets to her goal, the more she loses sight of everything and everyone she cares about. Nala must do the unspeakable to get what she wants, a place to call home. But is a home just where you live or who you choose to protect? So another book that I'm definitely excited to put on my TBR. And the next one is actually a duplicate of an author that's already been mentioned in this video, and that is Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova, another Zoraida Cordova book that I'm so excited to read and that I can't believe I haven't read yet. And this one is a fantasy book. I actually don't know a lot of what it's about. Oh my god, look at that orange. Renata was only a child when she was kidnapped by the king's justice and brought to the luxurious palace of Andalusia. As a memory thief, the rarest and most feared of the magical Moria, Renata was used by the crown to carry out the king's wrath, a siege that resulted in the deaths of thousands of her own people. Now Renata is one of the Whisperers, rebel spies working against the crown. The Whispers, oh, it's just Whispers. The Whispers may have rescued Renata years ago, but she cannot escape their mistrust and hatred, or the overpowering memories of the hundreds of souls she drained during her time in the palace. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so it seems like when the commander of her unit is taken by the prince and she has to go on the secret mission to get him back, she has to go back to the palace where she grew up, and it brings back memories of the court and the politics, and she uncovers secrets in her past that could change the fate of the entire kingdom and end the war that has cost her everything. So that's super interesting. Also, this book is super heavy. I shouldn't have been holding it like that. I'm very excited about this book, and it's like an actual like legit fantasy, which is going to be a lot of fun. I've been like in such a huge fantasy mood lately. It's been really hard for me to read anything but fantasy, which is so weird because for a while I was really trying to like up my fantasy game, and now all I want to read is fantasy. So really excited about this book. I haven't heard really any talk about it. I actually don't know what people think of this book, so I'm kind of going into it a little bit blind, but I'm very excited about it, and I think I'm really gonna like it because Zoraida Cordova has not steered me wrong yet, so I have a lot of trust in her. Alright, so these are all of the books that I want to have on my TBR. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books on my TBR. It's a lot of books, and I know it's gonna be a lot, but I think I can get through at least 4 of them, at the very least 4. So we're really gonna try hard. I'm so excited. And I hope you guys also join in on the Latinx Book Bingo Readathon, and it'll be a lot of fun, and we'll get to talk about Latinx books and read them and support Latinx authors, and that's always a good time. So also remember to support the Latinx Book Bingo Readathon by following on Instagram and Twitter. Those links will be down below in the description. And if you're also participating from September 15th to October 15th, then let me know what your TBR is going to be. I'm so super excited to hear about them. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also go ahead and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Goodreads, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!
Ooh, I thought it'd be me and you.